Hey YouTube, so I'm being very called to create a video detailing the difference between the North Shore of Kauai and the South Shore of Kauai, the third eye chakra island in the chain of Hawaii. I chose to come here and only here because of its natural beauty, so that should tell you one thing about the island of Kauai, that it is nature laden, nature heavy. It is not commercialized nearly as commercialized as all the other islands. Except for, of course, the one where the pure ancient Hawaiian people still live. I think about 200 of them. I think it's called Nihau, and they live there, and no one's allowed to visit them or see them. I think people can come to the island briefly, but that's a whole other video. So this is the most organic island of the chain at this point, untouched. So the north side reminds me, here's an analogy, more of the redwood forests of California, Mendocino, Sausalito, versus the south side being more of like a Los Angeles beaches and surfing kind of a place. I love the birds here, oh my gosh. So the north side was lush, green, lots of mountains, waterfalls. The Princeville Resort, by far my favorite place. Actually, probably my favorite hotel I've ever stayed in. I loved it there. I love it there. I actually cried when I left the Princeville Resort. I can't begin to express the beauty of that place, the natural beauty. Wherever they did garden or manicure things, it just still looked natural, untouched. But it was all just perfectly gorgeous, easy to navigate, and it felt very spacious. One of my favorite parts of being at that hotel, I had a beautiful water and mountain view, but one of my favorite parts was feeding the birds every morning and greeting my new friends who work there, most of them at least part Hawaiian. I want to thank Hue for her amazing omelets. And of course there was Mealy and Chelsea and Triangle and Frankie and Robert, who I believe is the head concierge, and he even performed a chant for us, an ancient Hawaiian chant upon welcome, and so many other wonderful people that worked there. It made it feel like a family. In fact, I really did feel so at home there that, again, it was really hard to leave. It was just a beautiful place, very spacious, like I said, open and beautiful and very elegant, refined. It was calm, peaceful. I felt like I was on vacation. I kept saying, I feel like I'm in heaven, in the Garden of Eden, in paradise. And that is absolutely my highest recommendation for a hotel if you're going to Kauai. Some people say I don't want to go to the North Shore because they say it's going to rain, but ironically, I am filming from the South Shore now, and it's raining. It barely rained on the North Shore where we stayed at the Princeville Resort, which I just spoke about, my favorite place. But here on the South Shore, where it's supposed to be like LA, sandy beaches and surfing, it's rained every single day for, well, 2 days. I'm very grateful I only have 2 days at this hotel, because despite the amazing job that the architects did with the gardens in the back by the pool to the beach, it is incredibly confusing, and the layout is probably more beautifully viewed from a helicopter than it is from where you are sitting, simply because it's confusing as anything to get where you want to go. It's crowded feeling. There's a lot of families here with kids and a lot of loud noises. It is a huge, 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 huge resort and spa, and I literally feel like I'm walking a mile just to get back to our room. I may be, not really sure. And so it's just not my cup of tea. It feels very commercialized, Disney-ified, manicured in not a good way, overdone. There have been a couple of people who have been outstanding here, just a couple, unfortunately. You can just tell that the people at the Princeville really wanted to provide excellent service, and that's exactly what we got. And it was just, again, such a stunning hotel, and I don't want to say backyard because that sounds ridiculous. These are not backyards at the Grand Hyatt or at the Princeville, but the beach pool area at the Princeville Resort and the north side was just gorgeous, and it just felt like you were on a tropical paradise that just kept getting more gorgeous and more gorgeous as you went around. and the vistas were open. There was just, oh, it just was amazing. And I would feed the birds at wherever I wanted to. Unfortunately, I'm very sad to report that at the Grand Hyatt, they actually have a caged parrot. I was so sad when I saw that, because it was like not the hugest of cages, and I don't think a bird should be caged, period, especially not on the island of Hawaii. It seems like it's really counterintuitive to the whole message of the Hawaiian people, but it was a caged bird. And they also have nets up where the breakfast is served, so you can't even commune with nature, really. There's a net between you. So my highest recommendation, forget about what the weather report says. Go for the North Shore. You can always get a taxi down to the South Shore if you wanted to see other parts. But most of the cool things, like the ancient traditional Halimaku village, are up there. The Fern Grotto, all in the north. The falls, everything. Have a blessed day. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe.